Happy Sunday morning to you. I am so sorry for the late stream this morning, but you guys know I do a virtual breakfast with my kids the second Sunday of every month this year. Last year it was the first Sunday. This year is the second Sunday of every month. We're kind of switching it up, see how things go. So I do apologize for that. Good morning. I saw some new faces in chat. I'll say hello to you guys in just a minute. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. It looks like everything's working, but I am having a little bit of connection issues today, so hopefully the stream goes okay, but we'll have to wait and see. I was struggling a little bit with breakfast this morning, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. It is a cold and balmy Sunday morning here in Northern Illinois. I hope the weather is much better by you. I think Teresa posted some pictures earlier in the week that she got a lot of snow, so that looks like a lot of fun. We've had a little bit of snow here, but nothing too crazy. Just really a dusting. I know my daughters are further south of Illinois, southern Illinois here, and they've had a little bit more snow this morning, so that was a lot of fun. You know, winter's coming, and with winter comes beautiful blues and silver colors, and that's exactly what we're going to be working on today. I teased to you guys we're going to be doing a bunch of half square triangles today. We're actually going to be working with a Miss Rosie Quilt Company cupcake recipe book. I started this on my quilt retreat. I'm sure if you guys watched this week's video, you saw some pictures of that. So these are the two blocks that it actually makes, that this particular recipe makes. So I've got some of them done here, but we've got a bunch more that we need to finish up. And then we're going to go ahead and start slicing those up and sewing them together. My goal for this is to make a table runner. We'll see if it works out or not. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me pop into chat real quick and say hello to everybody because I don't want to miss you. Oh, Lorsh. Look at all the people in chat today. Good morning. My goodness. Kathy, I saw you. Good morning. Saw you this morning. Thanks so much. You're always the first one in. It's so fun. Maya, good morning from Germany. My goodness gracious. Thank you so much for joining us. Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. Lucas is in the house. Good morning, Lucas. Good to see you again. All right, Linda, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Brenda, hey, Brenda, I am so sorry. I noticed over the weekend, you've told me this many times before, but I hadn't noticed it before. You actually do live streams with Mina Ying by Donna, I think it's called. I will make sure to get a link in chat for that. I didn't realize you actually did live streams with them. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you told me and I misunderstood. So I'm going to make sure that I get a link in chat for that for you so we can help you promote that channel as well. But good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Moldy Lasagna. That is probably one of the best names I've seen pop up in chat. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. So fun. So fun that was. That was great. She says she wanted to get up earlier, but it felt so good to stay in bed. Yeah, I totally understand. Good morning, Mona. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Good morning. Let's see. Make sure I've got everybody here. Katie. Good morning, Katie. Hi. How are you? Just want to make sure I'm trying to... Oh, Betty. Good morning. Hey, Betty. Did you get your prize? I can't wait to see how that turns out. I hope you were able to get to it. She says it's cold in Tennessee. Mona says flurries in Ohio. Brenda says, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Kelly, good morning. Hey, how are you? I hope things are well with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Betty says, working on a fat quarter you sent me, making a wall hanging. Oh, that's so great, Betty. I can't wait to see it. That's exciting. Good morning again, Kelly. All right, well, I think that's everybody in chat. If I missed you, please say hello. I do apologize. I did have to turn on that restriction where you do have to be a subscriber of the channel in order to participate in chat. I'm really sorry about that. But we had way too many robots and things in there, so I did have to turn that on. Brenda says, no, I'm just a subscriber, but thank you. Okay, well, I did see you on one of the live streams, so I wanted to make sure that I was helping promote that channel. If you want me to, I can absolutely add a link for it. No problem. Oh my goodness, somebody said 27 degrees. Sandra said 27 degrees by her. My goodness, that is chilly. It is, what is the actual temperature here by me? Right now it's 28 by me, but it's going to be a high of 37. Super warm. Yeah, 37 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I'm not sure what the conversion is there, but it's chilly. It's chilly for sure. It's chilly for sure. Oh, Moldy Lasagna says 79 in Florida. God, I love that name. It's so much fun. So much fun. But 79 degrees. We are always very jealous. So let's go ahead and get started with a couple of these paper pieces first. And then we'll go ahead and start slicing them up and putting them together. I'm going to make both of these blocks. Because then I'm going to kind of mix and match them when I put the table run together. Kind of doing this a little bit on the fly. I don't really have a plan for this, so I guess we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how it goes. Mona says it's 36 by her. My goodness, yes, 36. And yes, Sandra's just reminding everybody that Kathy and her do have their own channel over there. They do a lot of really fun things. They're so much fun to watch. I put them on. I can't catch all their live streams, unfortunately. I try to catch them when I can, but I put them on, especially, I usually watch them as I'm working on projects and stuff and quilting along. It's so much fun. So much fun. One of these days, I'll try and catch them on a live, and maybe I'll be able to join them on one. They did invite me last week, but unfortunately I had a bunch of things I had to get taken care of here at home, so I wasn't able to join, but I really, really appreciated that invite, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you guys again really soon. Mona says, thanks for dropping my link. Oh, absolutely, Mona. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have your own channel and we don't have a link for it, please let Lucas know. Just do the @ symbol and then type in Lucas's name to tag him in it so he can get that going for you. Yeah, absolutely. Kelly says, I'm curious about the cupcake patterns. I haven't done one yet before. Well, Kelly, I can tell you, these are what this one makes. I have another one. Let me show you the other one real quick if you're interested. I am actually working on a second one that's for Christmas. The Christmas one I'm not so thrilled about, and I think that's just because the pictures, the colors that I've chosen. Let me show you what that one looks like real quick before we get started here. So this one is a Christmas one. So I have so you need a solid and then you need a printed fabric. So I have, for this one here, for the winter one, I have a solid white. It's a tone-on-tone white, and then I have these beautiful blue batiks. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then for the Christmas one, I have a solid black, and then some red, white, green, a Christmas charm pack. So these are the charm packs. You can get the bigger ones that does layered cakes as well. I went with the charm packs just because I just have so many of them. So this one is called the recipe card number 1, and what this one makes is 1 big triangle and then 4 little triangles. And then it gives you 3 options to put them together. And I've only made 2 of the 3, but let me show you what they look like. So this is one of them. And then here is the other one. That's 2 of the 3. Now I've made 2 of each. So here's just another. This is the same one as that other one. And then there's this one as well. So I'm not so thrilled about this one because I think I probably should have used a different color than the black. I think the black was just too much. But that's what I had in my stash, so that's what I opted to use. I probably should have done something different, but that's okay. It should work out all right. But I'm working on that one. So that one is recipe number 1, and then we are going to be working on recipe number 2. So what I'm finding is they're basically triangles, and then the paper just helps you make the triangles. Let me put this up here out of the way. Oops. So this recipe is actually going to make 8 triangles per sheet, and you need 2 sheets to make 1 block. So that's why I think it's only going to make a table runner based on the amount of pieces we need. My goodness, chat has blown up again here, guys. Hang on. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, good morning, Sylvia. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, Sylvia does some amazing paper piecing. Make sure you go check her out for sure. Yes, absolutely. Oh, good morning, Dawn. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, how are you? So glad to see you. She says pretty blocks. Oh, thank you, Dawn. That's very kind of you. I'm loving these blue fabrics. So the blue is, it's by Robert Kaufman. It's called Blue Color Stay, and the name is called Winter Sparkle by Artisan Batiks. I don't know if you guys can see that. I have terrible lighting today. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, but so that's what that one is called. And then the Christmas one I was telling you guys about is this one here called Holiday Charms, also by Robert Kaufman. So that's what I'm using for these 2. So let's go ahead and get started. Looks like you guys have already started on a heist, so that's super fun. For those of you that are new to the channel, the heist is a way of earning thimbles. Thimbles is basically a points program that allows you to earn points as you're watching the channel, and you can play some of the mini games as well. And then what happens is you can actually turn those thimbles in for prizes. We have a couple of prizes on the channel. One of them is a random fact quarter, and the other one is a random notion. If you do exclamation point prizes in chat, it'll tell you how many thimbles you need to earn those and how to redeem them. So it's lots of fun. It's just my way of saying thank you for joining me and thank you for joining the chat. All right, so we're going to start with our solid on one and our batik on the other. We're going to do right sides together. I'm actually going to flip this over and do it this way so that I can line it up. And then we take one of these paper pieces. And I'm just going to use a pin just to hold it for now. There we go. One there. And one there. All right. And now there are dotted lines and there are solid lines on this piece of paper. Again, I don't know if you guys can even see this on the camera or not, but there are dotted lines and solid lines. We want to start sewing on the dotted lines, and they are numbered 1 through 8, at least on this one. And so we're going to start there. We're going to turn our stitch length down to at least a 1.8 or 1.6. I'm going to use a 1.6. I've got white thread in here. I did use white thread before, right? Yep. I did use white thread before, so that's what I'm going to use. And we're just going to sew right down the lines. I am missing a bunch of stuff in chat here. I do apologize. Let's see what we got. Dawn says, not vacuuming today like last Sunday with a great vacuum fight. It was a great vacuum fight. There you go, Dawn. Very good. Mona says pretty. Yes, they are very pretty. Sylvia says, was at a grandson's fundraiser yesterday selling all the stuff I've been making. We made over 300 pounds. Wow, Sylvia, that is awesome. Congratulations. It's amazing when things like that go to good causes. That's amazing. Kelly says, last night on the live stream for the lion pattern with Donna and Courtney, I inadvertently sent Shelly, Quilt Queen, down the Silver Linings original website rabbit hole. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm sure she understood that you didn't do that on purpose. Mona says, Kelly, I checked that out too. Very nice patterns. I'll have to make a note of that and check it out myself. Yeah. Absolutely. Sounds like fun. Yep, just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so let's keep going on this. So like I said, we had a virtual breakfast with our daughters. For those of you that are new to the channel, we have 5 daughters. My husband and I have 5 daughters. He has 3 from his previous marriage, and I have 2 from mine. We have, of the 5, 4 of them are currently in college, and the 5th one is graduating from high school this year and will be going off to college next year. So we're just trying to find ways to stay connected as a family. When the kids were little, he and I have been together for 12 years now. And when the kids were little, we used to do a breakfast on Sunday mornings with the kids. We'd make pancakes and waffles and eggs and all kinds of fun stuff as our way of kind of just connecting with everybody. You know, because we didn't really spend the weekends with the kids except for every other weekend. So that's something that when the kids moved off to college, we tried to keep up with. So we do that virtually, so over the computer, the second Sunday of every month. And so it's a lot of fun. We all kind of get to chat, and it's basically like everybody's sitting at the breakfast table, just eating their breakfast. The rule has always been the only rules have been that, you know, obviously you need to turn your camera on if you're going to be joining us. And you gotta have something to eat. So then that way at least we can make sure you guys are at least eating one good healthy meal, you know. It's a lot of fun. We have a really great time. My husband and I really look forward to it. And all of our kids are going to be coming home for the Thanksgiving holiday here soon. So that'll be exciting to get to see them all again soon. Sorry guys, I'm just focusing on this line here. So we're sewing on the dotted line. And I'm just spinning the needle around anytime I need to. This one's gonna get caught. Hang on. There we go. Got caught on a pin there. Let's pull that out. We don't really need it anymore. Alright. So that was the last one. There we go. So if I take this other pin out here, you guys can't really see the stitches there. And I guess you really can't see them very well here. Let me show you a different one where you might be able to see the stitches better. Let me grab one of these darker ones here. So that's what the stitches end up looking like. Can you guys see that on the camera? I'm not even sure if you can, but it makes an X pattern. I kind of see it. It makes an X pattern, and then we're going to go ahead and slice those up, which makes the half square triangles. We iron them flat, and then we sew them back together. So first things first, I want to finish sewing up all these pieces. They shouldn't take me too long. We'll see how things go, and we'll go from there. I think I missed a couple of people. My apologies. Let's see. Sylvia says, just popped in a thumbs up. We'll watch the replay with the blocks later. Oh, no problem, Sylvia. Absolutely. Anytime. Thanks so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Dawn says, I'll be lurking, either working with scraps or chores. No problem, Dawn. I appreciate the lurk. No problems at all. Good morning, Patty. Hi. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning. Shirley, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Shirley also has her own channel. You can do ! Shirley in chat, and it'll give you a link to her channel as well. Brenda says, gorgeous fabric. Yes, absolutely. I am loving these. I love batiks. I don't know if you guys know this, but batiks are my absolute favorite. And these blue batiks are just gorgeous. They have this beautiful silver accent that's built into them. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Dawn says, Danny, your fabrics are working with matching the room. Yeah, they do kind of match the room, don't they? They do. Something is happening with my phone here. All right, so. Right sides together. Now with these batiks, it can sometimes be a little bit of a pain. The good news is that with this nice silver pretty accent that it has on it, that will let us know which side is the right side. And then we just take one of these pieces of paper again and a pin. You don't necessarily have to use the pin. You could do a glue stick or any type of thing that will help you keep that paper on the fabric there. You could use a glue stick if you wanted to, or you could just like hold on to it as well. I've just liked the pin. That seems to be working the best for me now. When I do traditional foundation paper piecing, I have been using the glue stick because that kind of holds things together a little bit better as you're laying the fabrics on top of each other. But this one is more of a, you layer it together and then sew and then cut, as opposed to your traditional foundation paper piecing. When I initially purchased these pieces, these fabric, or this recipe cards, I thought it was more of the traditional, like It's So Emma paper piecing like we were working on before. It's a little bit different, but it's still kind of the same thing. It still helps you create blocks a little bit faster. Obviously, you don't need the paper in order to make these blocks. You could just make the half square triangles yourself. Like I said, this is a charm pack, so you could just lay out the charm packs and do the sewing yourself. You know, just mark it with a pen or something, and then sew on 1/4 of an inch from each of the lines. You could do that as well. And then that way you don't actually need to buy the paper. But each one of these pieces of paper makes 8 triangles, 8 half square triangles, and then you're able to put them together. You'll need 2 sheets for each block. Let's see. Looks like everybody's playing that slot machine. That slot machine is going to be the fastest way for you to earn or lose thimbles. But it is a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people hit that jackpot pretty quickly. So that's a real quick way for you guys to earn thimbles fast. Real quick and easy way for you to earn them. There we go. Pull those pins off and stack this one. So I'm just going to make a couple more of these and then we'll slice up a couple so you guys can see how those go together. And we'll just kind of, you know, make a couple, slice a couple, make a couple, slice a couple. So tell me guys, what are you all working on? I assume you're probably working on Christmas projects. I know Brenda, she's been working on that cross stitch for her husband. I can't wait to see what that turns out to be like. Brenda, how did, were you able to fix your, the tropics pattern that we were working on last week? Were you able to fix that up, or are you gonna start that over again? Or I know you had made a big oopsie when we talked last week, so I'm hoping you were able to figure that out. Uh-oh, is Patty lost again? Had to print our final cruise payment confirmation. Oh, Kelly, that sounds like fun. Where are you going on your next cruise? Good morning, Marie. Thanks so much for joining me. Sorry I didn't see you pop in there initially. I apologize. I am trying to keep a better eye on chat, but there's a lot going on this morning, it seems. So if I miss you, I do apologize. Make sure you tag me. You can do the @ symbol. That's that A with the circle around it. You can do that and then type in "So Not an Expert," and that will actually highlight it on my screen here so I can make sure to see it for you. Oh, looks like Lucas is giving away some points there, so that's a lot of fun. Ooh, to the Caribbean, Kelly. That sounds like nice. I hope you've planned that for the nice cold winter, so it'll be a nice reprieve from that. You guys, for those of you that are new to the channel, my sewing room is also doubles as my daughter's bedroom when she's home from school. And part of the deal with her allowing me to use her bedroom while she's away is also that I have to share the room with her cat, Angel. Angel is a short-haired domestic. She's black and gray, and she walks around sometimes. I don't really know what she wants right now. She just keeps meowing at me. I can hear her. She's over here on the floor meowing. I'm not sure what she wants right now. We'll have to wait and see. She's an old and ornery cat, that's for sure. That's for sure. Marie says, I finally pieced the back of my granddaughter's quilt together. Had to purchase yardage instead of 108, but at least now I'll be getting the sandwich ready so I can quilt it. Marie, yes, that sounds like awesome. Patty was found. Way to go. There you go. Looks like Patty earned some extra points there. That's really exciting. Kelly says in February, probably when it's pouring rain. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? February is still pretty cold. And, you know, by me, February, it's still snowy weather. So, yeah, that would still be a great reprieve to be going up to the Caribbean instead of, or going down to the Caribbean instead of being stuck here in the cold winter weather. Thunder says I better quit while I'm ahead. Patty says you better go buy a lottery ticket. That's too funny. You guys are having fun with those slot machines and with the heist game. I'm really happy to see that. Don't forget to go ahead and redeem those prizes so I can send that stuff to you. Do exclamation point prizes in chat. It'll give you information on how to redeem them. It's pretty simple and easy. Especially coming up here in December. I'm not sure if the YouTube creators are going to be doing it again, but if they are, I'm going to be participating in the Vlogmas again, if they're doing that. And I've got a bunch of fat quarters that we're going to be opening up. I just got a countdown to Christmas from Cotton Cuts. They just sent me the box of Batiks. I'm really excited to open those up and see what they look like. And I'll probably be giving a bunch of those away as giveaways during that month of December. We'll have to wait and see. Lots of fun things happening. Speaking of fun things happening, if you guys are not already, please make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook page or our Instagram account, because I have got a couple of really fun surprises coming up here in the next couple of weeks that I'm not going to say anything about today, but one of them is going to be coming up here really soon, and I'll be posting more information about that on those channels. I'll also be doing something on our YouTube community channel as well, or page as well. So make sure you keep an eye out there. Lots of fun things coming up here. Lots of fun things. And I don't want you guys to miss any of them. If you do !links in chat, that's LINKS, it'll give you links to both our Instagram and our Facebook. And you can access them there. I do apologize for the background noise if you can hear that. That is my neighbor starting their car. They need a new muffler. So hopefully they'll be quiet again in a minute. I apologize for that. That is what happens when my mic breaks and you guys get to hear all the background noises. So if you hear rumbling, that's my neighbor. I do apologize. Their driveway is right next to this window, and this window is obviously right behind the camera, so you guys can probably hear that. So what else is everybody working on? I'd love to see it and hear about it. You guys keep me motivated. Sandra says, Danny, this is like playing games with family. Well, Sandra, I'm really glad to hear you say that. That is basically the point of these games, is to give you guys something fun to do while you're watching me in chat. And you're right, it is just like family, for sure. Marie says, 2 down, 5 more to go, and then 2 more for the great grandkids. LOL. Hopefully I love long enough. Kelly says she's still working on graduation quilts for various kids she knows. The medallion quilt is one of them. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Sandra says, I am knitting. Well, Sandra, that's always fun, too. I've never been able to get into knitting. I tried crocheting for a while, and I know how to do that. My grandma taught me how to do that. But the knitting is something I've never really been able to get into. I've never really been able to learn. And I know there's a bunch of outlets out there now that could probably teach me how, but I just really haven't learned how. My grandma used to crochet us hats and scarves and slippers every year for Christmas. That was a lot of fun. It was always fun when you got to open those gifts up on Christmas Day. But yeah, knitting is never something I've really been able to get into. I'd love to learn how, just to say that I know how to do it. And maybe one day. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out this quilting thing. Still trying to figure this out. Mona says, I just finished a bunch of scarves and now I need to put the borders on a quilt to making bags. Oh, that sounds like fun. Kelly says, Marie, it's been fun so far. The graduates have all had different color requests, styles, etc. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Kelly. Let them pick out what they like. That way you know that they're going to like it. That's a good idea. Shirley says, I'm getting things finished for an annual craft sale I go to, knitting slippers and whatever else I can get done. Oh, where's the craft show? Shirley, if you don't mind us asking, we'd love to know where it is. That way, if any of our subscribers are close and nearby, they can stop by and say hello. Sandra Mona says, I smelled bacon all night. Oh boy, bacon, yum. Mona says, LOL, me too, yum. So one of the things I will say about these pieces, these paper piece projects, Oh, good morning, Sean. Good morning. Oh, please don't apologize for being late. You're not late at all. We only started about half an hour ago, so no worries. No worries at all. But one of the things I do like about these paper projects is they go pretty quick, and they don't take a lot of effort with regards to making the pieces. You don't have to think about it too much. The only thing that I'm still struggling with a little bit, and I think this is just my machine, is it just doesn't like that bulk very well. I mean, I've changed all the settings and done all kinds of other things to make it work a little bit better for me, but it's still struggling. Especially, and I knew it was struggling, but I didn't realize how badly it was struggling until I started using the other machine, the other brother I have, during my retreat. And I was doing this same project, this exact same project, at the retreat, and the other machine didn't struggle nearly as much. So I'm starting to think that maybe this machine is just not strong enough to handle going through this many layers, which is really unfortunate. I really love this machine, and I can't really afford a new one, and I don't really want to buy a new one. So we just kind of have to make it work. I was struggling quite a bit yesterday when I was working on the Christmas ones I showed you guys earlier. I was struggling quite a bit, and it was really getting me frustrated. So, I'm thinking a new machine might be in my future. Not my immediate future, but maybe sometime next year. We'll have to see. We will have to see how it all works out. Kelly says the first grade quilt was a free stepladder pattern from Jordan Fabrics, then a Harry Potter quilt with a panel, then a Jelly Roll race. Wow, my goodness, Kelly. I love Donna Jordan. You guys know that. I absolutely love her patterns. They are so much fun and so easy to use. Shirley says she's in Calgary, Canada. Amen. Well, welcome. Lucas says, Sandra, you just keep winning. Sean says I'd have to leave now to make it to Calgary. Yeah, and I'm thinking it might be cold by then. You guys are over there playing the slot machine games again. I'm so glad that we were able to get that work in. So glad. Just sewing in that dotted line here. I think we'll probably do one more of these, and then we'll start to slice them up and sew some pieces together so you guys can kind of see how it goes together a little bit. Show you how it works. But I like the simplicity of this. With regards to getting the half square triangles made up and things like that. The only part of it that I'm still struggling a little bit with is, like I said, the bulk of the fabric, trying to get all those half square triangles together. Danny's gonna yell at me. Oh, Lucas, did you win another jackpot? What the hell? Oh, Katie says she has a Brother PQ5000SL. It's a straight stitch machine and goes through everything. It's about $700 right now. Wow, that's cheap, Katie. That's really cheap. I might have to look into that. The only issue that I'm going to have with a new machine is, you guys know, I have my beautiful quilting cabinet here, which I've learned so much more about since my retreat. But I have a very limited space in how big of a piece that I can fit here. Otherwise, my machine sits up too high. This actually goes all the way up, almost all the way up to flush. It doesn't go quite flush, so I'd have to get an insert for it if I was going to put something on top. But the thing is I want to keep whatever machine I get, I'd like to try and keep it inside of this circle so that I can keep it kind of level here, because I'm short, not tall. So this is a perfect position for me. Anything more than this is really difficult to do because my feet are flat on the floor, my knees are a nice bent 45 degrees. I'm sitting up straight. You know, this is like perfect height for me. So that's my only concern about getting any other of the machines, is because I need to make sure it's going to fit in here. So I'm going to have to do some measuring and things like that. So I'm not really in the market for a new machine just yet, but I think that if I'm going to keep doing some of these more bulky projects, I'm going to need to figure out something. I'm not sure if I'm just going to pull out the other brother and use that one. I'm not sure, but I love my baby lock. She's my favorite. So it really kind of breaks my heart a little bit that she has limitations. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but thank you for the recommendation. If I do end up with a new machine, it will be a brother or a baby lock for sure, because I do like that brand. I've never had any issues with the brand. Not that, you know, any of the other brands, there's anything wrong with any of the other brands. I'm sure they're all wonderful. It's just a personal preference thing for me. Same as Sean and Lucas. Run. Oh boy. Sean says, have you taken it in for servicing? My sister was going to replace hers as it was misbehaving, and she ended up getting it serviced, and it works like a champ. Sean, I have not. That is one thing that I do need to do, is I do need to bring it in for a service. And I will do that first before I decide to replace it. I've got a couple of pieces up here underneath the needle that are actually really loose, and they worry me a little bit. So I want to have them look at that as well. I have not done it yet, no. Honestly, part of me thought about bringing it, because the quilt store that I did my retreat at actually has a service center too. And so I had thought about bringing it in then and just dropping it off. I don't know, but something about not having it with me gave me a little bit of anxiety. and part of me is scared that, like, you know, they're not gonna have the right parts to fix it, or I don't know. It's just me being silly. But yeah, I do need to bring it in, have somebody service it. She needs a deep clean anyway. You know, I can clean her so far, but I don't dare take her apart to clean her. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing that first before I really bite the bullet and decide if I'm going to buy a new machine. Like I said, I'm not convinced that I need one yet. My budget just doesn't really allow for one yet. But we can all dream of new machines, right? Katie says, not sewing today, away from my machine. Finished a wall hanging table topper yesterday. Have lots of bowl cozies to sew this week for a craft fair in December. Oh, Katie, that's so much fun. Where is your quilt show? We'd love to know about it. Katie says, the brother is like Tiffany's Juki. Yeah, and Tiffany's got the same Juki that Becca has too. And I think, I want to say Stephanie's got it too. It's that straight stitch Juki. Those are really nice. Sean says, I love my brother. I'll use it till the smoke comes out the back and it quits working. I'm with you. I am with you, Sean. I love mine too. And you know, the Baby Lock is a brand of Brother, so that's why I really like the Baby Lock as well. But yeah, especially after having pulled out the other machine a couple weeks ago and using it on the retreat, it reminded me how much I loved that machine. The only thing that machine has that this one doesn't is that this machine has that one doesn't. That's the only difference between the two, is this one has the thread cutter. That one does not have a thread cutter on it. Which is it's not a game changer. You know, it's definitely a convenience, but it's not a game changer. But it has the same amount of stitches. It's a computerized machine. And that one is much newer than this one is. I'm starting to think that maybe that one is a little bit more powerful than this one, if I'm being honest. Because like I said, I didn't struggle nearly as hard with the bulk fabrics, the bulk projects on that one as I did on this one. So I might end up just putting putting this one away for a little while and pulling that one out and using that one for a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet. I'm just kind of complaining about it right now. I haven't decided. I don't know. We'll see. Oh boy, Lucas is trying to start a competition for some thimbles. That boy, he is competitive, but he also likes giving his thimbles away too. Sandra's like, what's up, Lucas? What's the plan? I'm in. What's up? Oh, Stephanie has a gnome. Okay, a genome. Okay, I thought she had a Juki for some reason. Kate says, craft fairs in South Dakota. I need this stuff for my niece for her booth. Oh, exciting. So if there's anybody in the South Dakota area, there's a craft show. Go head over there. All right, I said we were going to do 2, and then we were going to slice them up. So I'm going to set these aside for now. Actually, you know what? I have one more piece of paper left. So let me do one more, because we'll just get rid of this piece of paper here. And then we will slice up a couple of these. Marie says, I love my brother. It's the sewing embroidery machine, but I did bite the bullet and bought the Juki TL18, and I really enjoyed the speed and bedtimes of it. Marie, I'm not familiar with bedtimes. Is that a typo, or did you mean something by that? Tell me what that means. Katie says, I love my baby lock. Also got it in 1987, and it's still a great machine, but it has a smaller throat. Yeah, this one is, it's newer to me. I bought it 3 years ago, I think, but it was, it's called the Quilter's Choice. It doesn't, I don't know the actual model number. I'm sure if I looked for it, I could find it. But it's from like 2016. My research tells me it's from like 2016, 2017. So it's an older machine for sure. But she does fine for most everything except for she just does not like more than a couple of layers. Kelly says, I used the blanket stitch on my Elna. Oh. Marie says, yes, the Juki has a great throat space also, which helped me decide to get it. Yeah, the big Juki. Yeah, absolutely. He says he uses the, Sandra says, I use the blanket stitch for applique. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't really decided. I've been talking to my husband about it. I've mentioned it to him a couple times. I'm just not sure. But first thing I will do for sure is get it serviced. See if that helps. But, you know, I don't really do anything embroidery-wise. I don't really see that as being a need for me, so I don't need an embroidery machine. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I really don't use any of the fancy stitches on this one or the other machine, so it's really not a need for me. They're nice to have, don't get me wrong, but it's really not a need. So a good, just straight stitch machine might be the best way to go for me. But like I mentioned, I'm always concerned about the size of the machine, because I know those straight stitch machines can be really, really big and bulky. I don't know. It's not really something I've given too much thought into. We'll see. Who knows what the future holds, right? Mona says, I have an old brother, Juki, Genome, and 6 vintage machines and a vintage Kenmore. My goodness, Mona. I had a Kenmore. I just recently got rid of that one, unfortunately. It was my grandmother's machine. At the time that she bought it, it was the Cadillac of sewing machines. And unfortunately, that was, 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. So it was not in as great a shape as I remember when I was a kid. So I've actually just recently let go of that one. It looks like Betty's playing, so that's fun. No problem, Kelly. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate you being here. Have a great time. Thank you so much. Marie says, I have my mom's vintage Sears. Also Monica. I haven't used it in ages. Oh, wow. That's so cool. I have a really old machine at my mom's house. I have no idea what the name of it is. I should probably pull it out and see. It was given to me by one of my sister's friends' moms or something. She gave it to me. And at the time, I don't believe it was working. I did get it working. But then I put it away, and I don't think I've pulled it out since. No. Oh, the blanket stitch is directional. Well, yeah, we need to make sure we check that out. I use older ones for thick stuff, except featherweight. I baby her. Oh, yeah, I would. Yeah, I think we should all be babying our featherweights. Yeah, I don't have one, but yeah. Oh, it was autocorrect. Okay, no problem, Betty. No problem. Okay. All right. So let me grab a couple of these. So that we can kind of play around here. So I've got a really dark blue. And then I'm going to grab a lighter blue to contrast it. And 2 sheets, like I said, 2 sheets will make one of these blocks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let me just set this aside because we're going to need to iron. Turn that on. So the first thing we have to do is slice everything up. Now, again, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there are my stitching lines, and then there's solid lines on the sheet. And the solid lines are the ones we're going to need to cut. And this will actually make 2 different size triangles. It makes 1.5 inch or 1 1/4 inch half square triangles. We are using the larger size, which is the 1.5 inch. That's what I used for these here. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice these up. So I've got my rotary cutter here. What did I do with my, oh, here it is. And my ruler. So the first thing I like to do is I just cut them in the 4s. So that's their first solid line. Actually, I'm going to cut these edges off first while I'm thinking about it. Get a nice long cut out of that. I've got a little plastic cup here for all of my spare pieces, and then I just kind of dump it when I'm done. It just makes things a little bit easier for me. There we go. Get rid of that. Just trimming up the edges right now. There's that one. Sandra must be winning the slot games a lot. They keep telling her she needs to play the lottery. Mona says, "Are you sewing right on the paper?" Yes, Mona. That is the point of these particular paper, is that you sew right on through the paper. You just pin the paper to the top and you sew right through it. Make sure you're using a very small stitch length, because then the paper just peels right off, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. But the first thing we did was we sewed on the paper, and now we're going to just slice on the solid lines. And you can see it makes these little triangles. We're going to grab those. We're just going to put that together. I need to trim this side up. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really makes a quick go of these pieces. It really helps you make those triangles pretty quickly. And I haven't noticed any dulling of my needles or anything like that with regards to having to go through the paper first. It's a pretty thin paper that they make these with. Good morning, Chloe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning. I hope you are well. So good to see you. All right, so that's all of those sliced. So let me just show you what they look like. Okay, so so our little square peas turned into 8 little triangles like this with the paper on them. So now all I do is I fold the paper back at the stitching line. I just run my thumbnail over that stitching line. And then I open it back up and I just pull it at the stitch line off like this. And it just peels right off, and then I just pull the other side out. And now I have a half square triangle. It's a teeny tiny little half square triangle. But now we'll need to iron these up and trim them. That'll all be part of the process. I'm going to go ahead and pull those papers out just first. First, we got to trim up our second one because you do need 2 pieces of paper, 2 of these cards. They call them recipe cards. 2 recipe cards for every block. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice these up, this one up real quick, and then we'll get making this. All right. You guys are having way too much fun with this lot themes. I'm so glad Lucas was able to get those working for you. They're a lot of fun. Don't forget, you trade those thimbles in for prizes. Obviously, all of the members in the chat are subscribers to the channel, but if you are just watching, I will remind you, if you're interested in keeping up, to make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of really, really fun things. Couple of surprises coming up here in the next couple of weeks that I'm really, really excited for, that it has taken everything in me to keep them from you. But I promise there was good reason for it. So I'm really excited for those things to come up. We also have a couple of projects that we're going to be working on. I had mentioned on our community tab about the possibility of doing some quilt cards. I think we're going to do something. I think we're going to do that project. And I think what I'm going to have you guys do, I think I'm going to have, I haven't really thought through the whole process yet. I'm deciding whether or not I want to have you guys all send the cards to me, and then I can mail them off to everyone. So then that way, you know, you're only sharing your home address, your mailing address with me, and not with everybody else. You know, with somebody else. Either that or partnering people up. You know, like you would get the name and address of one person, and they would get your name and address, and then that way you would, you know, do it that way. So I haven't decided yet. I think I'm probably just going to kind of leave it up to you guys what you want to do. If you feel more comfortable just sending your card to me and I can mail it off to your partner, that's fine, you know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to have something for you guys, hopefully have something planned out and written out by next weekend, hopefully. So let's go ahead and pull all the paper off now. If you want to win floss, just say your name is Sandra. Too funny. It's really nice spending someone else's thimbles. Sean says, I do the partner thing, Danny. If you mail it yourself, it'll cost you a fortune in stamps. Yeah, you're right about that, Sean. You're right about that. I was more thinking about people's security. You know, I want to make sure that I'm keeping that in mind. Some people are just not comfortable sharing their home address with complete strangers. I mean, obviously I'm still technically a complete stranger, but yeah, I'm probably going to go that route because then, like you said, because otherwise I got to pay the postage. But the good news about these quilt cards is they're basically just a postcard, so it's just a basic stamp. It doesn't require any additional postage, which is nice. But still. Alright, so I am just pulling all of the paper off of all of these. Paper comes off really easily as long as you have that shorter stitch length. That really helps out quite a bit. Plus it keeps everything kind of together as you're pulling it apart. So yeah, I'll have something regarding that for you guys, probably by next weekend. And I'm also hoping to have on our live stream next weekend actually show you guys how to make the cards. I mean, you know, Sean did, or not Sean, sorry, Ian from Off Kilter Crafter did an amazing job with his tutorial on how to make those, and that's basically what I'm going to be using for mine. But, you know, it's one of those things where until I ask you guys, I'm not going to ask you guys to do something until I can make sure that I can do it too. So, so we're going to learn together. Yes, Sean, I hadn't said anything to anybody because I wasn't sure because your post had said, you know, special guests. So I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say anything. But yes, I am definitely going to be there on Saturday. So Sean is doing a live stream on his channel on Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. You guys know he does live streams every Saturday, but next weekend he is going to be doing Clue 10 of the So Sweet PMQ, which is basically the last clue. We're going to be putting the final reveal together, and he has invited a few special guests, and one of those is me. So Saturday morning next week, I will be live with Sean on his channel on Saturday morning, and then on Sunday morning, I'll be back here live on my channel, probably working on that card. I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, so make sure you go follow Sean on his channel. If you do ! Sean in chat. I will post links on our Instagram and our Facebook about it as well. I'll also set up an event as well, just so that you can be reminded of it. But I am really excited to join him. I'm honored that he has asked me to join him. It's really exciting. It will be my first Zoom collab from the channel, so I'm always a little nervous when you do something for the first time. So there's a little bit of nerves there, but otherwise it's really exciting, and I'm excited to see who else will be the special guests on his channel. It's kind of nice that I don't know, because then that way I can be just as surprised as you guys. So yeah, I will be there, Sean, for sure. It's going to be a little early for me, but that's okay. I will manage. I'll just bring the extra coffee. It's fine. I'm really honored to be invited and included. Oh, Brenda, yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, she says the least we could do is send you an extra stamp to mail them off, since you're trying to keep track of everybody's safety. Yeah, Brenda, I thought about that too. I mean, I've been kind of hemming and hawing about things. I think I'm probably gonna leave it up to whoever comes in. So like, I'll probably just give you the option. Like, if you want to join in, that's fine. You know, you're gonna need to send me your address, and then you can either tell me, do you want me to share your address with your partner, or would you prefer to mail it to me and I can send it off to your partner? Whichever you prefer, because I do understand the you know, some people, I mean, let's face it, there's no bad people in our quilting community, right? But I also understand people wanting to be safe and secure, and I get that. So I'm trying to be conscious of that. Okay, so I'm going to press all of these towards the dark fabric. These are all on the bias because they're triangles, so I'm going to try not to stretch any of them. I'm just going to push them down smush them down, as I like to say. Sean says having the option sounds good. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best approach. I hate to like make a decision for people. I'd much rather give them the option. But I want to write something out and actually have it written out for me. Sean says, I'm excited. Yes, with lots of coffee. Yes, amen. Sean says, I'm excited to have you. Well, I appreciate that, Sean. I really do. Lucas said he's going to try to join the stream. That's a little early for him. He is in Virginia. So he'd be in the same time frame as Sean. So, you know, he really doesn't have an excuse except for the fact that he's probably working the day before. If he's working late, we understand. Yeah, no problem. So if you guys are not already a member of Sean's channel, please go over there and subscribe. So then that way you can get the notifications for when that goes live. I'm really excited about it. You'll be able to see me there. I'm excited to meet any of his other special guests. That'll be fun. And then hopefully next year I'll be able to do some collabs myself on this channel. We'll have to wait and see how things go. This year is just kind of getting away from me. Next year I think I'm going to be a little more organized with my channel. I'm going to try and plan things out a little bit better. Have a little bit more of a plan than just kind of flying by the seat of my pants every week. That is the goal. Alright, so I'm just pressing these up. They're all being pressed towards the colored fabric. I will say though, if you guys are not comfortable working with the smaller pieces, you know, like this one is a 1.5 inch square. If you're not comfortable working with this small pieces, you're probably going to want to look into the cake recipes, not the cupcake, but the cake recipes, because those are actually made with layer cakes as opposed to the charm packs. So the pieces are a little bit bigger. The blocks are going to turn out bigger and the pieces are a little bit bigger. So that one might actually be a little bit more your style. I found these cupcake recipe cards on Amazon. I know that Fat Quarter Shop carries them. I think, I don't know if Jordan Fabrics carries them. To be honest, I haven't looked. But I know that Fat Quarter Shop has them. I know that Mystery Star Quilt Company had them for a little while. I know Amazon has them. Yeah. Sean says, if everyone can make it, we'll have 4, including me. I want to verify that others can make it before I let everyone know who they are. Oh, no, Sean, absolutely. I am, actually, if I gotta be honest, it's kind of fun to keep it a secret, because then that way, you know, it'll be fun to see who it actually is. So I'm okay with you not telling me. It keeps my stress levels down not knowing who it is. Because then that way there's no competition. You know, I feel like an equal as opposed to like an underdog or something. So yeah, for me, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I just want to be surprised when I get there. Alright, so now I'm just going to trim off all these dog ears because that does make it easier to sew up the pieces if you trim off all the dog ears. So I just have my little plastic cup here and I'm just going to trim them right into the cup. I did this trick at the quilt retreat and everyone was fascinated with the fact that I was doing that. In fact, I had a couple of the quilters actually bring a plastic cup the next day so that they could start doing it. So I thought that was really neat that I had started a trend. That was pretty fun. I'm just going to trim all these right up into my little plastic cup. And then we could start putting this block together. Now, I have just used 2 cards. I guess what you could, if you wanted to, If you really wanted to get crazy about it, you could take up like 4 or 6 of these cards and slice them all up together and then mix all the pieces up together and then put the blocks together that way too. That would give you a really great variety of fabrics to choose from when it came to, or fabrics and colors to choose from when it comes to making the block. That could be a lot of fun too. I've thought about that, doing that a couple times now, and I just haven't done it yet. Sean says you are an e-call. Okay, I will tell you. Yeah, no, don't tell me, because that will just help. That will just give me more anxiety. Especially with this being my first one. It's just, I don't know why I get so nervous all of a sudden, but I do. So yeah, if I don't know, then I could jump right in with blind faith and I'll be fine. So, and I'll be excited and I'll be surprised. So yeah, it'll be fun. Katie, I missed something. Oh, on Stephanie Stitch's live yesterday, she had a guest, Shannon. They talked about a special offer for the next so long. If they get 10 people to join, it's 10% discount. 15 people is 15%, and 20 people is 20%. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a great way to get people to join on. Yeah. That's exciting. I can honestly say I've never joined one of the Zoom so-longs. You know, I know Becca's got some on her channel. Stephanie had some. Sean just had one recently that I completely missed. I have not had the opportunity to join any of those yet, so this will be my first time. Next weekend will be my first time joining, so I'm excited for that. Obviously, with that comes a little bit of nerves, but it's just me being silly. So I'm excited to try that out, and if it works out really well, I might be able to host my own next year. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm not going to try and do anything during this holiday season. It's just going to be crazy enough as it is. Okay, so I've got everything in my little cup. I only missed one little teeny tiny triangle here, so now I can go ahead and just dump that right in my garbage can, which is under my feet here. Okay, so now I've just got a little stack of half square triangles, and now we're going to place them based on these cards. Now the cards show you down here at the bottom, it's really tiny, but they show you how to line them up. And they've got different shades of gray will tell you which color to use, okay? So like this one says, so let's do the star one. So we've got a dark here, like this. I'm going to kind of do it on an angle here a little bit, guys. And then another dark here. And another dark over here. And another dark there. And another dark there. Katie says it's the same company as the one you're finishing next week. I must have missed something. Oh, Cotton Cuts. Okay, yeah, so I got you. Okay. Sean says, "No, D, it's not. No, Danny, it's not silly. I was so scared of my very first Zoom lives. It gets easier with practice. Oh yeah, everything gets easier with practice. I mean, even look at my quilt retreat. I was so nervous. If you guys watched my video that I posted this week, you will have seen just exactly how nervous I really was. I was literally just hands shaking, so nervous. And it was silly to be nervous, but at the same time, you know, you kind of have to own up to your own emotions and things, and just kind of work with them. You know, harness that energy and put it to good use. I'm just laying these pieces out based on what the thing shows me here. The one thing I will say about these is that these pieces are so tiny. I'm not a huge fan of the itty bitty tiny pieces, but I'm making it work. Alright, that seems like it looks right. Lucas says, yay, duels should be working. Oh, that's another game that they set up. That's cool. Alright, so now we just sew these up into rows or however we want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip these over one at a time. Just going to sew up this row here, like this. I'm going to flip out this foot for this one. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Then grab this one. But once you got the pieces laid out, then it's just a matter of sewing them all up together. They're pretty tiny at first because they're all these little bitty 1.5 inch squares. But you know, you kind of get used to them after a while. Just like Donna Jordan, I'm chain piecing these together, and I'm going to actually try and keep them attached to each other, so then that way I don't lose my place. Patty says, I'm in need of a nap. All these gambling thimbles is a thing. That's funny. Looks like Lucas is giving away some thimbles there. He's setting up a challenge for people, so make sure you pay attention to that because he likes to give away those thimbles. Just something fun for you guys to play in chat if you want to. There is absolutely no obligation. You are earning thimbles no matter if you're playing these games or not. The games is just another fun thing to do in chat while you're working, while you're watching me. I did have one subscriber reach out to me and ask me if there was a way to play those games after the stream is over, and unfortunately the answer is no. That is something that can only be done on the live streams. Or while the videos are live. So when I do my premieres, whenever I have a video that goes on a premiere, you guys can also play there as well. Let's see how if I'm able to actually put this together without screwing it up. Let's see. So yeah, so next week we're going to be doing Clue 10 of our So Sweet Puzzle Mystery Quilt with Sean on his channel. I'm actually going to be recording some parts of it because after talking with Sean a little bit off camera, he and I both agree that you know, the last Puzzle Mystery Quilt we did, it took us 2 live streams to put the whole thing together. Or it took me 2 live streams to put the whole thing together. So the idea is that we'd like to be able to finish it on his live stream next week. So in order to do that, we're going to need to do a little bit of pre-prep. We're going to need to put some pieces together. So I'm going to try to put the center section together and get all of the borders prepped if I can before the stream. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, but that's my goal. We'll have to wait and see. See what I mean by it? It's usually only on this first one, and it's usually only when there's a seam there. It does not like grabbing it. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Guys are playing those slot machines. Lucas has figured out how to get the dual game to work, so that's fun. I'm so grateful that even with his 2 jobs, while he's going to college, that he is still able to help us out here on the channel. I'm so grateful for that. Alright, so that was the last square, so now it's just a matter of attaching the rows up together, and then we'll have a beautiful block. So I am just kind of finger pressing these rows opposites, so like the top row all go to the left, and the next row goes to the right, and then the third row goes to the left again, and then the bottom row goes to the right again. And that's just so that when we sew up these rows together, everything kind of comes together. So I'm just going to give these a quick press so that we can sew these rows up together. Everything will line up nice and pretty. Alright, so now we just flip it the other way and get those seams to nest up nicely. This is, like I said, one of the bad parts about these is because these pieces are so tiny. You have to nest up some pretty teeny tiny seams. So if you're not used to working with small pieces, I recommend going with the cake recipe, which is the layer cakes instead of the turn packs. That is my recommendation if you're not good with small pieces. Part of me wishes I had known that because I probably would have went with the layer cake myself. Come on. There we go. There we go. Sandra, your luck is incredible. She's still winning. That's Sandra. She's winning. Alright, now we're going to spin it around. We're going to do this side. And see, this way, when you chain piece it like this and you keep all the pieces kind of attached with those threads, then you don't have to worry about things spinning on you and putting them in the wrong order and all that stuff. So. Come on. Come on. Got stuck on me. It jammed on me. What's this bulk again? Push it back a little further. Take my purple thing out and push it in there. There we go. My purple thing. Right. Sean says, alright, time to quit while I'm ahead. He must be winning. Sandra says, but Teacher Danny, I'm watching you also. Well, Sandra, that's very kind of you. I am definitely not a teacher for sure, but I'm going to show you guys what works for me. You guys know that's the premise of this channel. I am not an expert, but I'll show you what worked for me. Alright, just nesting up those seams now. It is a bit of a pain because the pieces are so tiny. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I've had like something caught in my throat here. Good job with the duals, guys. Good job. I don't know how that worked, but Lucas was able to figure it out, so good for him. As long as you guys are having fun with it, that's all that matters to me. All right. Cut that one off. Kathy, I don't know if Kathy's still here, but Kathy or Sandra, is Kathy going live later today? Does she go to live on Sundays, or was that just a thing for last week? My iron has died on me, so I'm going to take that opportunity to take a drink here real quick, because there is something caught in my throat. Dawn says, glad the duels are working. Yeah, me too, Dawn. Lucas is figuring that stuff out. It's like I gave him access to that stuff, and all of a sudden he's got it all figured out. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. And don't forget, guys, you can turn those prizes in. So if you do exclamation point prizes in chat, it'll tell you what prizes I'm offering, and how many of those points you guys need in order to gain them. Sandy says, Danny, she'll be on Monday. Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't be able to make it on Monday, but that's okay. But I still can't find that ahoy. There's some verbiage in there when you start a heist that says ahoy mateys or something like that. I cannot find it anywhere. I have no idea where it's at. It's somewhere buried in the defaults of Streamlabs, and I have not found it yet. Alright, so now I'm just going to press up this block to make it lay nice and flat for me. And on my retreat this past weekend, I actually did a swap of some notions. I had a cutting and pressing mat from OmniGrid. It was like one of those little 8.5 by 11 books that I was using for a while, and I brought it with me to the retreat, and I just never used it because I pulled out my wool mat, and I just liked that so much better than the book. And one of the other ladies that was there had mentioned that she really wanted to get one. She had a big, one of those big books, but she wanted a smaller one like I had. And so I ended up giving it to her. I ended up giving her my book because I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to use it, and might as well give it to somebody that is going to use it. So in return, she gave me one of her, what are these called? It's like my brain is fried here, but she gave me this, so that was really nice of her. It's really, I've used it a couple times now, that's why I've got it sitting here on my thing. I've used it a couple times to kind of hold some seams down, but this one's actually laying pretty flat. I don't think I need it, to be honest. Alright, so this is the block that we have officially made, guys. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It basically looks exactly the same as this one, but I promise you they are different fabrics. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Very cool. Alright. So on to the next one. Clapper, yes, thanks, Marie. I'm like, it's a tailor block. I know that's what it's called. Yeah, I couldn't remember it. Clapper, thank you. I was like, my brain was just completely fried. I could not remember what it was. So, all right, so should we make another block or should we sew some more pieces? I'm thinking we should make another block. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make another block. Let me grab 2 more fabrics. I'm trying to grab a dark and a light as best as I can every time I'm grabbing these. So I've got that one there, and let's take that one. Does that look okay? I like this one better. This one better. Okay, grab those 2. There we go. Lucas says he's feeling generous today. Pretty block, Danny. Oh, thank you, Chloe. Yes, it is a very pretty block, isn't it? I really like. I like these actually a lot more than I like the Christmas ones that I've been making. I really do. Like I said, I think that I'm going to put them all together as a table runner for Christmas. A winter table runner, if you will. I'm not sure, though. I really don't know. I just thought that would be something fun to do. It gave me kind of something to break up my day when I was on my retreat. And they're actually a lot of fun to make. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. But I think there would probably, there's probably going to be enough blocks here to make a table runner with. Maybe I'll add some sashing to it or something. I'm not sure yet. Oh, no problem, Sean. We appreciate you sticking through. Yeah, the stream started a little late today, and it's probably going to end a little late today, so no problem. I appreciate you coming by, though, and I will see you next weekend, which I'm really excited for. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. Central. It's going to be really exciting. Oh, it looks like Betty's getting in on the slots, too. That's fun. That's great. Glad to see that. So, like I said, I will put links to Sean's video on our socials, on our Facebook and our Instagram. I'll probably put something on the YouTube community page as well. For that, I think I'm going to pre-record. I'm going to record making the center block for the quilt. Doing an actual reveal of what it looks like and doing the center block on there. And then I'll probably post that on the channel after we do the reveal. So then that way I can include a link to that in the video. This week's video will be clue 4 of our Piazza Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Clue 4. I am loving those fabric colors. They're totally screaming at me. I love them to pieces. They're amazing. They're so bright and just neon, and I absolutely love them. So I'm really excited about what that's going to look like. The So Sweet one, I didn't pick out that colorway. My husband did because he likes blues, and I'm not saying that I don't like it. I do like it. I was apprehensive about liking it because I'm not a big fan of white fabric. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I realize that there are times where it's really necessary to use that color. Like on this particular project, it was kind of necessary to use the white background fabric in order to make the other colors pop. So I understand that, but I just really wasn't. I was really hesitant to like it, but I really do like it. I think it looks really nice. I've seen the final reveal, and if you are a Cotton Cuts member, then you have seen it as well. So you know what it's going to look like. I did blueberry cake, so you guys know that it was the blues and whites. But I'm really excited for that one. And I'm honored that Sean has asked me to be a part of his collab on his channel of putting that together. I am absolutely honored that he thought of me. And I am really looking forward to that. I've known about it for a few weeks now, but I haven't been able to say anything because I wanted to make sure that it was going to, because, a lot of things can change, so. Lucas says, Danny, what time is that stream ending today? Lucas, will probably go till 1 o'clock today, which is still a half an hour short of what we normally would do. But we'll probably go till 1 today. I'm finding that going until a little after the 12:30 that we normally do, I'm finding going to the 1 o'clock is working out. Lucas, if you gotta head out or whatever, you can absolutely head out. We totally understand. But yeah, we'll probably go till 1 today. I think that'll be our new norm for the stream. We'll go from our normal time frame. It would be 10:30 Central to 1 o'clock Central. I think that'll be our new norm. Because I do find that there's quite a few that pop in right after that 12:30 mark to say hi for a few minutes. So trying to include as many as I can. Yeah, with the breakfast, yeah. No, we'll just go to 1. I'm not going to try to go to 1:30. People got things to do. I started late. I'm not going to make anybody else stay. I mean, not that you really have to stay anyway, but yeah. Yeah, we got a late start. And we still get to do another block party project coming up here soon. I told you guys I was going to be doing a paper piecing, and I still haven't picked one out yet. We are going to do a paper piecing block for our block party. I just don't know what yet. And it will most likely be from the same book that all of our other blocks have been from. It's the Quilt Makers 1000 Blocks book. Just because, you know, there's 1,000 blocks in there, so it makes it really easy to do. So we're definitely going to be doing that. It's coming up on the channel. And then, of course, the card project I was talking about as well. I had another project that I was going to start on, too. I have a fall table runner applique project that I didn't get done for the fall, but I might still make it just because I still have all the pieces. I just don't know that I'll be posting that video now or posting it later. Who knows? Lucas says, LOL. I have nothing to do, LOL. Well, you know, now you have something to do. That one right there, Lucas, the one that just popped up underneath your message, the one that says ahoy. That's the one I'm looking for. I can't find it. I needed to say something else that's more related to thimbles than a treasure hunt. So this morning was awesome. The girls were really great. They were all talking about, actually all of their boyfriends were there. Well, all the girls that had boyfriends were all there this morning. So that was kind of nice. One of our daughters has recently gotten a new boyfriend. Well, I guess not recently. I guess it was last year she got a new boyfriend. But my husband and I really haven't had the opportunity to meet him because they are in another state. So we got to meet him virtually online. So that was nice. That was nice that we got to meet him. So yeah. The girls are talking about their grades and about the weather and classes. One of my daughters went to a formal dance on Friday with one of the sororities in her area. She's not in a sorority, but all of her friends are. So she was invited to go to a formal dance for their sorority. So that was fun for her. She had a good time with that. I ended up having to mail her a dress. I had to mail it to her. And then, of course, she gets it, and it turns out it doesn't fit. So she ended up having to buy a new dress anyway. So that was kind of funny. Lucas is searching now. Betty says, ahoy! Yep, Betty, that's the one. Yep. So the default message inside of Streamlabs for this, the Thimbles program is actually a point, like I said, it's a points program. And the default message was about treasure hunting and a treasure and, you know, and pirates and something else. So I took all that out because it doesn't really apply to this type of a channel. So I took all that out and I rewrote it all for thimbles, and sewing and that kind of the thing. But that one message, I cannot find it. I don't know where it's at. I don't know how to fix it or change it. So, but Lucas has been fixing things left and right. So if he can find it and fix it, that would be great. It's not a big deal. I'm sure you guys don't really notice it or pay attention to it that much, but it bothers me that it's not related to the channel. I would much rather it be related to, you know, to sewing. You know, say something about threading the machine or something, I don't know, something more sewing related. Now, next week when we're doing Sean's, on Sean's channel doing the collab, obviously, just so I'm sure you guys are already aware of this, but the stuff that I do on my chat here, you know, the thimbles, the points, the raffles, the slots, all that stuff, That doesn't transfer over onto his channel. He has to do something himself on his channel. Those only apply to my channel. Obviously, he could set something up on his channel if he used Streamlabs and wanted to set something up similar. He could do that, but it's not something that transfers over. So you guys will earn points and stuff when you're watching my channel, but if you switch over and you start watching his channel, you're not going to earn any additional points or anything like that. And I will probably be watching chat, but I don't know how much I'll be commenting on chat because, again, it's not my channel. I'm not running the show. Sean is, so I don't want to intrude. So I'm sure if I see something in there, I'll try to say something. We'll see, but I'm probably going to be pretty quiet because it'll be my first one. So I'll probably be pretty quiet and just kind of getting the lay of the land and stuff like that. But I'm really excited for it. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. So what is everybody up to today? It's a Sunday morning. It is cold. It's dreary out by me. It's not really raining or snowing. It's just kind of gray and overcast today. And it's chilly. Yesterday my husband ran the the lawnmower out of gas and switched it out for the snowblower. They're not talking about any measurable snow just yet, but we've learned our lesson because we pull it out early because we've figured out that if we don't, then we end up with measurable snow, and then the snowblower is stuck in the shed because we can't get it open because of snow. So he pulls it out early and just lets it sit in the garage. We've had years where we've pulled it out and it sat in the garage all year and never got used. So it just kind of, it's the weather. It's unpredictable. So that's what he did. He did that and he cleaned out the gutters because we had all the leaves from the gutters. He's really great with that. And I had put new headlights in my car and changed the air filter. Getting that prepped up and ready for winter. Congrats, Marie. Hey, Kathy. Welcome back. I'm sure you've been here the whole time, probably just lurking. That's okay. Kathy was so sweet. Last week I was able to pop over. She was doing a live stream on her channel right after mine, and so I was able to pop over there and say hello. I wasn't really able to stay because I had a bunch of recording I had to do, but I was able to pop over and say hello, and she invited me onto her stream, which I thought was really sweet. She absolutely did not need to do that, but that was really sweet. I was not able to join, but that was really kind of her. And maybe another time I'll be able to join in that. Brenda says, still cross-stitching. Brenda, I cannot wait to see what that looks like. I wish you could send me pictures of that, but I also know that you probably don't want to post them on there because you don't want your husband to see. So I'll be patient and wait until it's finished, but I'm really excited to see what that looks like because I like cross-stitching as well. I have a project that I've been working on for, years. Because I go through waves. It's like I really like doing it, and then I put it away for like 6 or 8 months, and then I pull it out again. I have a project that's a Cinderella project. It's going to be really pretty, but it's a big project, and it's going to take a while. Kathy says, I've made those both in the layer cake and the cupcakes. They're so much fun. Yes, they are a lot of fun. I like how quickly they're coming together. Like I was saying, the only part I don't like is the bulk of the fabric with them being so tiny. They're so tiny. So they're a little on the small side for my taste, but that's okay. They're still making really cute blocks. I'm really liking these blocks more so than I like the Christmas ones, but I think that's just because of the colors that I've chosen. I probably should have went with a different solid color for the Christmas fabrics, but I didn't. I had the black, so I just opted to go with that, but I probably should have used the black for something else. Oh well, it is what it is. I'll still put it together. It just won't be one of my favorite projects, that's all. We all have one of those, right? We all have one of those projects that we put together that's just not really our favorite. I'm sure we all have at least one of those. Yeah, Lucas, I agree. It was weird that I couldn't find it either. I I don't know where it's at. It's buried somewhere. I just don't know where. I mean, I guess I could probably reach out to Streamlabs and ask them where it's at, but it seems like too much effort. It seems like too much work. It's not worth it. Yeah, Betty, she's getting up there. She's getting up to the top of that list. Yeah, real quick. Yes, Les is in a giving mood today. Yes, it is. Lucas is still up there. Jesus, Lucas, you got almost 30,000 points. My God. My goodness. I think he's cheating. I think he's just giving them to himself. I think so. Well, look at you, Betty. Number 2, 12,000 points. That's enough points. You could turn them in for a fat quarter if you wanted to. I could get it in the mail to you if you're interested. Or you can save up and wait and see what other big prizes I put up there. I've got another prize that I'm going to put up there soon. That's going to be a really big one. You're going to have a lot of points for that one. But it's going to be worth it. It is definitely going to be worth that amount of points, let me tell you. Once I get it up there. Probably not a bad idea, Lucas. But that's okay. We can give out thimbles. It's fine. The whole point is to have fun with them. If I got to give out, fat quarters all the time, that's okay. The fat quarters are inexpensive to ship. They're just a single fat quarter. I can throw it in an envelope. I'm not worried about that. Yay, Don! Congratulations! Wow, look at you! 2,000 thimbles. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. All right, now we got more. More dog ears to clip off. Now with the Christmas ones that I told you I was working on last week, what I did was I sewed up all of the pieces together into the stack of stuff there, and then I started slicing them up one at a time. And as I sliced them, then I would just kind of stack them up together. I was kind of trying to do it in a little bit more of an assembly order as opposed to random like this. But I wanted to make sure that you guys got to see the fruits of our labors, So this is a great project if you need something you want something to sew on, but you're just not creatively motivated at the moment. You just can't really figure out what you want to do. Just go into your pre-cut stash, grab a couple of stacks of, charm packs, a couple of charm packs, and, lay them up together and like this. Now, you don't necessarily have to do a solid. You could do another, colored fabric. The only thing with that is I'd be careful with trying to match up the colors. That would be worrisome to me, because you need to make sure that they have a nice contrast so that the design shows up the way it's supposed to. If you get too many colors in there, it can become too busy and it can be hard to see the contrast, see the design. Then it just becomes a bunch of triangles. So you don't necessarily have to use a solid, and you don't have to use charm packs either. This white fabric that I'm using here, this white solid fabric, was not actually a charm pack. It was yardage. I cut it down into Charm Pack squares so that I could make this project. So you don't have to have Charm Packs. You could just use your yardage or whatever you've got in house. You could use fat quarters or whatever. This is just kind of what I opted to go with. Jordan Fabrics had Charm Packs on sale for incredible prices a couple weeks ago. Probably almost a month ago now. So I bought a bunch of Charm Packs because they were like anywhere between $4 and $5 for a Charm Pack. It was unbelievable the prices they had. So I stocked up. And that's why my Charm Pack, my pre-cuts bin there over there is pretty full because I've got a bunch of jelly rolls and a bunch of charm squares, and then I've got 2 layer cakes there on the side as well. They just had a sale on their layer cakes too, but I didn't find the prices to be as incredibly they weren't as appealing to me as the Charm Pack prices were. John says, ha ha ha, I did a duel and I won, but I wagered 0 because I forgot the amount. Well, at least you can win at it, There's that. Alright, so let's lay these pieces out now. Go ahead and lay it out over here on my board. Oh, there's that one, and then we gotta go up this way. Okay, take 2 dark. This way. Oh. This one makes a weird stripe pattern. It's really kind of cool. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. This one goes this way. Okay, then this one goes there. That one goes there. And this one goes there. Very cool. I love the stripes. I don't know if you guys can see it, but these stripes, they're just so cool. I really like those. That's really neat. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these sewn up together. So I'm just going to take the second row, flip it over onto the first, like that. Or I guess column. These would be the columns, not the rows. Pull this thread out here. There we go. There's that one. Uh-oh, I lost chat. Hang on, guys. Sorry. There we go. Go. Whoa, high rollers. Well, you gotta win some. You gotta lose some to win some. Funny. You guys have so much fun with this game. I love that you guys have so much fun with it. When I turned it on initially, I did not think this was going to be a thing that you guys were going to enjoy, but I'm really glad that you do. I'm really glad that you guys enjoy it. What about the algorithm? Don says, yay, we figured out the bot's new algorithm. That's alright. Lucas is on top of it. He'll fix it so that you can't do that again. No, I think it's great. I think you guys are having a great time, and that's really what's important to me. That you guys are having a good time. That is the whole point of this, is to have a good time. Come together, have some good chats, talk about some fun things, work on some fun projects, and have a good time. That is the most important thing. There we go. Sounds like my husband might be back. He went over to a toy show. I don't know where the toy show was at, but he went to a toy show. Sounds like he might be back. I know I've mentioned it before, but my husband makes model cars. One of these days I should put a couple of them up here on the shelf here so you guys can see them. He does an amazing job. They're gorgeous. And he has made so many of them for me specifically that I need to start bringing some in. In fact, his latest one he did for me was an Elvis pink Cadillac. That one was pretty cool. I really like that. He's working on a commissioned project right now. It's a Corvette for a friend. His at work. And then for fun, for Halloween, he did a Michael Myers figurine. That one was pretty cool. It's creepy, as I should say. And he made a police car for Lucas when Lucas went off to school, so that was fun. Illinois State police car, that was pretty neat. He has made quite a few things for me. Each of our daughters has a model car that he's made for them. He makes quite a few. He can pretty much turn around a car in a weekend, which is crazy to me. We definitely can't do that with quilting. Well, I mean, I guess we could if we really put our mind to it, but oh yeah, no, Chloe, please go ahead, keep playing. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about it. Keep playing. You're having fun, that's all that matters. Like I said, I have plenty of fat quarters and notions to give out, so you just keep redeeming those prices. It's fine. No worries on my part. Alright, now we're going to sew up the rows together. Get those seams nested. I love these fabric colors. They're so pretty together. This white is a Joanne Fabric special. It was a donation to the channel. It gave me a bunch of it, and I've been using it for a variety of different things because you can never have too much white, background fabric in your stash for sure. So I've been using it for a bunch of things, but it really looks incredible with these batik fabrics. It looks great. So thank you to that subscriber for the donation. I am still using it. They sent me just a ton of fabric. It was just amazing. I was floored. got a little jam in it. And now there's like the bulk of threads right here, so I'm just trying to cut that out. There we go. There we go. The pieces fold down and it gets jammed, and it's just frustrating sometimes. Brenda says, I printed copies of my cupcake papers. That way I'll never run out. There you go, Brenda. That's a good idea. I mean, I'm sure that the manufacturer doesn't want us promoting that, but for us quilters, you know, sharing our tips and tricks, that's definitely a good way to do it. For sure. I keep meaning to do it and I keep forgetting, but Teresa Louise has a pedal mat that she made for herself for her sewing pedal so that it doesn't slide all over the floor. And she showed us exactly how she made it. And I keep meaning to make one for myself because I have all the material to make it. I just keep forgetting to do it. I really need to because my pedal is always all over the place. I don't know if you guys have ever seen on my videos, but I try and edit it out, but I'm usually like looking down, like where the hell did the pedal go now? I really need to make myself one of those mats so stop sliding around on me. Because while the bedroom is carpeted, you know, and the carpet helps keep it from sliding around, the problem is that I actually have a chair mat under the machine here so that my chair rolls around, which then means that my pedal moves around. So the carpet doesn't really do me any good. So I need one of those. Way to go, buddy. Good job. Congratulations. Wow, you're catching up to Lucas quick. Good job. I'm kind of surprised. I figured Sandra would have been catching up with all of her winnings today. All of her winnings on the channel today, I figured she would have caught up. Lucas, do we have any heists going right now? Any active heists in the works? It's just about 1 o'clock. So I just want to make sure that we're not impeding on any heists or anything. We're getting ready to... We'll finish this block up here. We're just about done with this block. I've got one more row left to sew up. And then I get to go and make some dog food. We make a chicken soup for our dogs that they eat for dinner. It's to help keep their weight maintained. There we go. Helps to keep their weight maintained and helps to keep them healthy. I make that every couple of weeks and then we freeze it. And we have been out, so it's something that I gotta do tonight. Thank you, Dawn. Lucas says I have no idea because it's lots. It's okay. Oh, Kathy, no problem. Yeah, no, we're getting ready to end the stream here myself. So I really appreciate you coming in today. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate that. No problem. All right. Oh, you turned it off. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had turned it off. Thanks. While you're messing with it? That makes sense. All right. Well, there we go. Here's the next block, guys. Isn't this cool? I love these lines. I love the lines on it. That is so neat. So this is the second block that this particular card makes. So this one is Cupcake Recipe number 2. These are the Cupcake Recipe cards by Miss Rosie's Quilt Company. Like I said, I bought mine on Amazon. You can probably find them just about anywhere. I know Fat Quarter Shop has them. I know Missouri Star Quilt Company has them. Obviously, Amazon has them. They're a lot of fun. If you're looking for something to just kind of make a project, not really think about it too much, or you're looking for something to just kind of get you motivated a little bit, these are a lot of fun. Like I said, they start as the cake recipe like this, and then you sew up the pieces together like that, and then you cut each 2 of these makes 1 block. You cut them up, and then you can make these really pretty blocks that I have here. And then I also have the Christmas one that I showed you guys earlier. But if you missed them, I will show them to you again really quick. So Christmas one is made with 1 large triangle and 4 small triangles each page. And then of course you do 2 pages. And this is what the Christmas one looks like. Or the one I'm making for Christmas. So, but the direction of it is you can kind of go any way you want to with it. Kind of looks like a basket. I think that's what they call a basket. And then there's this one. I'm not really sure what you call this one. That was kind of weird. So, and then here's the other one. Kind of rotate it around like that. And then here's the second of that other one. Let's see, that doesn't look so bad. This one is the number 1. So this one's Cupcake Mix Recipe number 1. That's this one here. Got a couple of sheets left of this one that I might throw into somebody's giveaway at another time. So yeah, they're fun. They're really nice and easy to do. Like I said, the only part of it, the whole thing that I'm really not super thrilled about is that the triangles are so tiny. So when you start to put it together, there could be some pretty thick bulk, trying to match all the seams. And my machine she doesn't really like it. I've made all the adjustments. I've done everything I can. I will bring her in to have her serviced, and I'm hoping that will help. But yeah, so. I really like the blues, though. I think the blue ones are really pretty. I'm big into winter colors, the blues and the silvers and the whites. Not a big fan of white, but in this case it works really well. So I'm really big into the winter colors, and I think this one's going to go really well. So I'm going to keep putting these pieces together off camera, a little bit at a time, a couple every week, until I have all of the blocks made, and then I'll lay the blocks out. The idea is that I want to do a table runner with it. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough pieces to do a table runner, or if I'm going to have to do something else with it. I don't actually know how many, I'm sure it says on here, but I just haven't read it. But how many blocks it actually makes when you're done. Because you need 2 pieces for each. So it probably makes, well, you figure if there's 40 squares in every pack, so it probably makes 20 blocks. Is probably what it is. And the blocks are, finishing size on the blocks is 6 1/4. Yeah, 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. That is the larger. This particular cake mix recipe allows you to make 2 different sizes. So I am making the larger size, which is the 1.5 inch triangles, which turns out to make the 6 1/4 inch block. I don't know if I'm going to put stashing in between it or not. It just depends on what the blocks look like when I lay it all out. I might end up putting stashing in it. I have no idea yet. I'm just kind of winging it and going as I go along. I don't really have a plan other than knew I wanted to put these 2 sets of fabrics together. So, all right, guys. Well, it is 1 o'clock. It's actually 5 after 1. So I think we're going to go ahead and end this stream here. You guys have been having an amazing time with slots and the heists, and everybody's been winning. My God, Lucas, really? 10,000 points? Really? No one's ever going to catch up to you at that rate. Stop playing, man. I know you're just playing to make sure that it's working, but come on, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Good, congratulations to you. Maybe you should just redeem them for some fat quarters and get rid of them. Alright guys, well I am going to take off. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you are watching this after the stream and you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. Links to those are in the description box below. If you're live, you can also do ! links in chat and it will give you links to those as well. Lots of fun things. Like I said before, I'm going to be joining Sean on his channel next Saturday at 7 a.m. Central Time. It is going to be really early for me, but I'm really excited to join him and some other special guests as we put together our So Sweet puzzle mystery quilt. I am going to put some of the pieces together ahead of time just so that hopefully we can actually finish it on the channel, but we'll have to wait and see. I sew pretty slow, so I'm sure I'm not going to finish it, but I'm going to try anyway. Alright guys, I hope to see you guys again on Sean's channel on Saturday and then back here again on Sunday next week. Otherwise, new video will be posted on Thursday. Lots of stuff going on this week. Alright guys, I will see you guys again very soon. Thank you again so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Talk to you soon. Bye! If you're